Well, thank you for joining us for Denver 7 News at 10 tonight. I'm Shannon Ogden.
And I'm Jessica Porter. The first witnesses were called to the stand today in the trial of the man who killed 10 people in a Boulder grocery store.
It's been nearly 3.5 years since that mass shooting at the King Soopers on Table Mesa Drive. And tonight we remember those 10 lives lost. Their families are now sitting through painful court proceedings as jurors decide if the shooter's mental state should absolve him of legal responsibility.
When you're sitting so close to someone who murdered your mom, murdered our parents, you don't feel like being civil about it.
The prosecution argued the gunman was sane on that day and that he deliberately was hunting people in the store, while defense attorneys say insanity is the only explanation to this tragedy.
I felt like crying when I saw the jurors walk in because, you know, they're being asked to do a lot and to see a lot and to think a lot, and I'm grateful for them.
The district attorney says this trial is expected to last a little over 2 weeks.
So the defense team here is arguing that untreated severe schizophrenia is what caused the shooter's actions that day.
Denver 7's Daniel Kreuter joins us now with a breakdown of how that could play into an insanity defense.
Now, a not guilty by reason of insanity defense, for it to be successful, it does need to prove two things. The first being that the defendant did not know right from wrong. And also, because of their mental state, they were not even able to form criminal intent. Some examples of situations where someone would be ruled insane as if they suffered from a severe neurological disorder, mental illness, even poisoning, anything that could be shown that the defendant had a break with reality. I spoke with a behavioral health and law enforcement expert about the nuances of this type of defense.
Schizophrenia is a cluster of symptoms that consist of typically delusions and hallucinations.
Brad Shorstrom is the director of behavioral health at Advent Health Porter Hospital.
With schizophrenia, there's also some thought disorganization, a lack of motivation, a lack of get up and go and gumption.
How common is it for that sort of disorder to also be coupled with a violent behavior?
It's quite rare. I think the general belief in the media and in society is that people who have mental illness act violently, but they're certainly more violent than the general population. However, they are not exceedingly violent as the way movies portray it.
It's also important to note that having a mental illness and being deemed insane are not the same thing.
Insanity is a legal term, it's not a psychiatric term. So one could have a mental illness and still perceive right from wrong.
Knowing right from wrong is the first prong in an insanity defense. The second is
intent.
Former Denver Police Chief Paul Pazin responded to the shooting that day.
I believe 68 officers from Denver self-deployed. We knew this was a big critical incident.
To be found not guilty by reason of insanity, the defendant must show they were not in the mental state to even have criminal intent. Pazin said what he heard in court tells a different story.
Everybody's entitled to the best defense possible, but I truly believe that the prep work, the amount of time, or the little amount of time once the killing spree began really showed the intent prior to, and a level of sanity.
Danielle Kreuter, Denver 7.
The families in Boulder are living through an experience that some in Aurora know too well. The trial for the Aurora Theater mass shooting got started in April of 2015, almost 3 years after 12 people were murdered at a midnight movie. The killer in that case also pleaded insanity. He was found guilty 3 months later, with the jury deciding that he planned his attack, lying in wait before he ambushed the victims. He was sentenced to life in prison without parole. Denver 7 will follow the Boulder trial for you every day until it's over, in our newscasts and online at denver7.com.